You don't start things and not finish them. You don't quit. There's nothing that comes out of quitting besides knowing that you didn't finish. We finish everything. You start it, finish it. If you're going to do it to try and be the best.
Would you like to learn a brand new and innovative way to invest your extra money that has a low barrier to entry and low competition? What if I told you that there's a guaranteed method to get up to 18 to 20% return on your investment? Tax lien and deed purchasing is the only way to get into the real estate market through the back door. No credit and no loans needed. This method isn't commonly taught, and therefore the competition is very low, for now. Put together a 14-hour info-packed course which will teach you everything you'll need to know to get started. Learn at your own pace, step-by-step guided video and aids to start you on the TLC deed investment process. The course offers many learning tools for new investors, helping ensure you safely invest in tax liens and deeds. Contact us today and join the buyback team.
Blessings, blessings. Welcome to Primetime Home Buyers, and you're here with your tax lien expert, real estate legal consultant, Lashley. Yes, I'm going to try to get that said in a smoother way so you can always remember it and know that I'm here for you. So today we're going to continue to talk about Henry County tax lien sale, and also we're going to do a little Q&A. So we're going to go over some questions that has been emailed to me and inboxed to me, and then we're going to get into some of the content that we want to show you today. We're going to go into Henry County tax assessor's website. We're going to get some property information. We're going to do a general search just to get you acclimated to what you should do prior to going to the tax lien sale. And as you know, what we're going to be doing is actually going to Henry County tax lien sale next week, if any of these properties are still available, because I do want to give you a heads up. This particular tax liens in this county, it's not a lot, but it's good. We can use this as an example. We're going to, look at the property, get some property information, and just move forward from there. But most likely, there are some, they're going to auction them off early, and we're going to be there, catch some clips for you, and we're going to upload it later. Let me share this to the group, because that's most importantly. I want to say thank you for being with us today. We are working on getting ourselves back into the algorithm. So if you are re-looking at this, please turn your notifications on, as well as hit the like button. And you know what to do. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to get on the page to make sure that we're streaming and we can share. We're also streaming live right now on Instagram. We're working on our Instagram page again. You're going to be seeing this up and around. We're working on having a few events, so we will keep you up to date on that. Let me see. Yes, let's share it. We are live. So if you have any questions, hold on. If you have any questions about the tax lien process and anything that I mentioned, please feel free to put it in the comment box. But hold on 1 second. I only can share when we start going live, so feel free. Okay, let's go. Hold on, where is my group? All right, let's go. I just had to make sure I share it in my group. All right. Didn't mean to be distracted. So what we're going to do is get to the first set of questions, and then we're going to get into the content that highlights Henry County. And we're going to use this as like a case study because this is not a big list. So it's actually good to use this as an example today. Now, the question that came into last week that said, why is it important to learn about the state? Now, it is very important to learn about the state. He said, why is it important to learn about the state? And why is it important to know how to close the deal? Okay, so that's a good question. So it's good to know about the state. One, you're going into an investment, and that's what I always say. When you're going into an investment, you want to know as much as possible about what's going on. That can be if you're doing stocks, trades, trading money, whatever you're doing, Bitcoin, you want to know as much as possible. But in this particular situation where you have each state has a little bit different approach to their process, some of the laws, and how you actually obtain the home. Now, if you're someone who's doing a state to state process, it is good to start with one or two states. I say one state and learn as much as possible with some of the focus areas that we share with you, which is learning the state law. What is the requirements? If it's a deed state, how the actual deed is, the process of it. And the reason why I want you to know the process of it, because if anything is wrong, you're going to know how to talk to your lawyer. You're going to know, like, oh, okay, this is what happened. For instance, if one deed wasn't transferred over properly. Those are the things that you want to know. And you want to know the law behind it of how to correct that. So we point you in a direction to understanding how to get those resources. So that's why it's important to know about the state. Just one example, and its effect on closing the deal. That's what I assume that you were asking. So let's move on to the next one. It says, why is it important to learn about your potential investment? I do apologize. While I'm over here, look, I do apologize. It says, why is it important to learn about your potential investment? Now, we already highlight that if you are investing in a property that is a lien, and I'm going to say this is very important in lien states as well as deed state, you want to keep in mind that the potential homeowner have other debts. That's just something you want to keep in your mind. So you're going to search for those other debts and see those, keep those parties in mind, because those may be the parties that you have to actually get in contact with to get them to remove their debt off of the home. And this can be a process if that property is something that you really want. And that's why it's important to find out as much about your potential property, because it can be a lien. And the worst lien that can be on some of these properties is IRS lien. And that is something that you want to keep in mind, even with the deed. Okay, when you're in it working with a deed state. All right, so having potential liens on the property, the property can be condemned. It can be in an area where structure wise things have changed. We have had natural disasters that have occurred that damaged a lot of land. So you're going to see those properties still on the actual tax assessor's list. Like, for instance, properties in North Carolina who went through the storm that just went by. Those homeowners that had to leave and, they're trying to recuperate themselves, they don't even know if they're keeping those properties. And the taxes is the last thing that they're thinking about. So a lot of those properties you want to keep in mind can be on the tax lien list. So if those are particular states you want to keep, you are interested in, that's the kind of frame of mind that you should have. You want to be thinking of aspects of what could happen. How do we prevent things? What is going on in the area and everything? So that is another reason why you want to know about your potential investment. Also, you want to know about the structure of it. You want to get a good look at it. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to look at one of the properties that's on this tax assessor list for the sale that's coming up next week. And then we're going to show you where you can go get the actual property information in Georgia, so you can look at the deed and know how to find issues. So we're going to show you where to get that. So I think I gave you 3 examples. There's a whole bunch that I can give, but if you have any more questions, feel free to send us another email. Okay, so the next one is, why is it important to know the fair market value versus the investment? Well, that definitely you want to know what you're going to get back. What is your potential money that you're going to receive after you invest? When it comes to investment, that portion, property investment versus the fair market value, you want to keep in mind that in this particular situation, when you're coming in through a deed or tax lien process, the property could be valued for allegedly $250,000. There's a lot of good properties out there, but I'm giving you worst case scenarios so you can just be prepared. So you have a property that value $250,000, but then they have structural issues. Maybe the property was sitting for a little while. Maybe it got damaged, in the storm, so you need to keep in mind how much you may possibly have to invest to get this to a sellable or usable condition if it's that type of property. Okay. And also, you want to keep in mind of insurance. Okay, insurance is something that people don't really think about, but when you are a real estate investor, the first thing that you want to have is an insurance company on hand, because once that property comes into your hands, you're liable. So insurance and how much that will cost to maintain it. Okay, sometimes you can have a rider, meaning you have a primary insurance that you can add on another property. So that is the things you need to keep in mind. So when you say investment versus fair market value, it is good to compare that, because you kind of get an idea of like what I'm going to get back, but you want to have an in-depth idea of what my investment is in other avenues, not just the deed itself or not just the tax liens. So that's why we always say, if you have $15,000, don't go to the tax lien or tax deed sale and spend the full $15,000. Try to keep it between 10 or maybe 12,000, and you pay that, and it give you a little buffer and also give you some time to obtain some more money. So it's good, because people who don't have credit, they can obtain, save money, because about $15,000 is sometimes people down payment for that 30% down payment for their first home, or whatever, their second home. So that same amount you can actually buy a deed. So you can use kind of like the same mind frame when you're going into investing in tax liens and tax deeds about saving, budgeting. But in this particular process, you don't need to have credit. Okay, you just need to have an ID, have an active bank account. If you are an entity, you need to be set up correctly, and you need to make sure you have the money and know that you're going to be responsible once you get the property. So I'm gonna move on. What to do if a homestead is on the land or on the property? I'm gonna tell you, run. This is a simple answer. I do not like dealing with homesteads. You already know that's like having another landlord on the land that you own. So you're coming in as a tax lien or deed investor. You definitely want to be cautious of that, because you have to follow the same requirements that any other person who contract on, that homestead, or the same way you have to contract with them. So homesteads usually sometimes are connected to homeowners association. Okay. So you want to know, because you're going to have to abide by that homestead and abide by what I just told you. So I kind of stay away from that unless you're going to have land, you get it, and then you create your own homestead. Do you understand? So it's a little bit more in it. It's a little bit more steps to clearer ownership depending on the state. So you want to be careful. So basically, homesteads is like having a homeowner association. Okay, so just be careful. And that information you actually can find when you contact the zoning office. And you can. Some places have their maps and information located online depending on what state. So that is part of actually doing your due diligence in a title search to kind of get an idea of that so you don't get caught up in homestead. And what I'm going to show you towards the end, where you get the deed and everything, you'll be able to read within the deed, as well as if you get an actual map sent to you. Um, if you get a map sent to you from the county, it's going to have writing on it. It's going to tell you everything about that property and what's attached to it. So homesteads, stay away from it unless you're creating it. Okay. So what are some zoning restrictions and environmental uh, issues? So zoning restrictions, as I say, sometimes natural disasters happen and things change. Restrictions meaning if you want to do it, make it commercial and it's a residential, you may not be able to do that. You will have to go through a process of trying to get it rezoned. It may can happen, but that is something that you need to consider. Is it worthwhile? So that can be some zoning issues if you have another idea and you can't use it for that. That will definitely, and it's not typical, but some zones are considered historical. So when they are historical, that means that you may not be able to do the renovations that you want to do. And you have to communicate with the county about that. And it becomes a little ordeal. So you want to keep that in mind, but the value of the property would be very much higher in a historical area. So it's pros and cons. So that can be some zoning issues and restriction, environmental, as I told you, things change. We had landslides, all types of stuff. Natural disasters, some especially out here in Georgia, they had what went on in Conyers, where they had the explosion, the gas explosion, where people were still trying to figure out if it's chemicals in the air. Some people got sick. So environmental issues can arise. So you want to do your due diligence, learning about the state, learning about the county, learning about what you can possibly expect with the weather, because the insurance is going to vary based on the expectations. If you have floods, if you have tornadoes, and it will vary. So that's the things you want to keep in mind. Is it better to invest in, is it better to resell, hold for interest, or it says resell, hold and or rent. It said hold, hand, or rent, because you could just hold it and not do anything. Honestly, that is based on your preference and how much energy you want to put into the situation. Okay. As being a landlord, if you do know, it can be very trying. The process of eviction can be a problem, having to collect rent, maintain the rent. Maybe, it's some good renters, but you want to keep that in mind. Do you have the time and the energy for that? You also got to remember that whatever way you use the property, you want to keep as much receipts for taxation purposes. So the more you use and do transactions with this property, the more you got to keep track of. I'm just keeping it honest, especially if you're moving as an entity with that particular property. So you want to keep in mind the weight of what this is going to bring to you. That's why I do land. You get the land, it sit. The weather change, you cut the grass. I haven't got an area where it snows. If it snow, get it a shovel. You see what I'm saying? Maintain it, have insurance. So that's simple for me. I don't. So it depends on what you want to do, how much weight you want to carry, and what's your plans. You may want to get this property to, as she say, hold you. If you want to hold the property and save some money so you can start a building project, that is something that you want to keep in mind. Or if it's already up to par, you can use it as, like I said, a rental unit. but you got to keep that in consideration, the things that may come with that. Okay. And the fees, because you can have a rental agency that actually, manage your properties for you. Okay. And that'll be a little bit more. But as I say, when you go in through the tax deed process, I like the build up of you being able to save a little by little and get to your goal. You can turn around and have a portfolio of up to 8 properties after a year of investing, or two. And that's not typical when you're the little guy coming in. You have to be a big, big investor to say, oh, I got 8 properties. You know how it is when you go, if y'all like me, when you go to these marketing events, yeah, I have $1 million portfolio, this, that, and the third. I like, my portfolio ain't that big, but I did have 8 properties under me. Things like that. I'm able to build assets. So what that goes to say, what I wanted to mention is, when you acquire this property, you can have the potential to take this asset and use it as collateral if that particular banking industry will use entity will use it, and say, hey, can I have a line of credit? I have this property and I'm going to be fixing it. The value is this, and it's going to be this much in about a year once I'm done. I have this, that, and the third, and they will do it. They will do it, especially if you have a well drawn out plan. So keep that in mind, that when you come in this route, and if you don't have insurance, don't have a big amount of money, and if you don't have credit, I really recommend this process. I do. I really do. It just take time, but you got it. All right, so I think I'm gonna get to the last question, and then I'm gonna get to the actual Henry County content, so you will be able to see the list. And then we're gonna look at a house on the list, and then I'm gonna show you where to go get the deed information. Now, I'm not gonna go in. I'm gonna explain to you why, but I'm gonna show you where to get it and why it's important. Okay. I think the last question is oh, two more questions. One more. What to do if a bankruptcy is involved? Okay. That is just a simple question. You're gonna have to wait on it. You're gonna have to wait for the bankruptcy proceedings to go through, especially it depends on what time it was filed. Either way, you're gonna have to wait. Bankruptcy, what will end up happening with that particular property is, because you are a first lien holder in that particular situation, you will still get your money back. Now, with interest, I can't verify that, because when you go through a bankruptcy, not you, but the person goes through a bankruptcy person, they have a legal representative that takes over their finances, get all the information, and kind of find the best way that they can budget with taking 25% of their income out, because it's only 25. When you file bankruptcy, they can't take but so much, depending on the state too. 25 or so amount of your income to pay this debt back. But what they do is negotiate with the creditors to say, hey, we could give you this, we could get you that. That is what a bankruptcy takes, is the process is. So consider you one of the creditors that they have to pay, and most likely they're just going to pay you back the amount that is due that you put in. I'm just giving you a heads up. So that's what you may can expect with a bankruptcy. Coming from the outside perspective, us looking in, you're gonna have to wait, but you will receive your money back. All right. Last question. Is it important to do a soft title search? And this is something that I talk about, and that question came up. I was like, oh, they're really listening. That is not a legal word, okay? That's not nothing that you'll find. A soft title search is something that I created, which is basically the process that an underwriter would do. I'm not a legal underwriter. That is not my position, but I understand the steps that they do and what they look for. So with that, I have that basis of information, and then I heighten it and give you a little bit more. I know the underwriter, they look for liens all over. They run a big abstract from different entities through whatever database, but I kind of show you from entity to entity how to do that so you can be safe, okay? Because the underwriter won't underwrite alone or anything if they find issues, okay? So that's kind of what the soft title search is, and it is important. So what we're going to do now is get to the nitty gritty. Thank you for being here with us. I think we have Swift that is on Instagram. Well, I think Facebook. Thank you for being with us. I acquired a redeemable deed a few years ago, and I wanted to know, do you have a Do you have a recommendation tax attorney? Hold on, tax attorney for a barment quiet title process in Brooklyn. I mean, sorry, I said Brooklyn. In Georgia, I do apologize. What I can do is I am updating my actual referral page, and I'm going to see if I have or find any credible. It was one lady that I found, and I think I want to add her to my website, and she's out here in Georgia. All right, so Miss Swift, what you're going to do, you're going to see me put a link to her. The reason why I want to recommend her is because she knows about another portion to this actual tax lien process. And I was going to use her as a specialist in a lawyer perspective. So I know that she does specialize in general issues. Like she looked like she hardcore. So I got you, Miss Swift. I got you. I'm going to look her information up for you. Please give me at least till no later than tomorrow because I'll look for it and I'm going to put it in the comments. So thank you so much for making a comment today. All right. Now let's move forward. Now, this is one of the things that you can find when you do a simple Google search of Henry County tax lien sale in Georgia, also known as the judicial realm. This was what we went over last week. So we went over this particular document just to sign up. The highlight here, the most important is buyer beware. This is these are buyer beware sale. There is no guarantee, neither express nor implied. This is why it's important to do your soft title search, what we call soft title search, because they're already taking their hands out of it. They like, if you invest, this on you. So this is the most important thing I always tell people, where you be like, red light, okay, that means that they know and I know that it possibly could be some issues with this. That when I see that, that means so it means it could be some issues. So that's kind of the frame of mind you want to think of and just get prepared, okay? And that's why you want to know the system as much as possible. Um, it says we recommend that you do not purchase any properties without having first seen the property. Very important, and it's so good because actually their website is very informative and it's easy to navigate. So some are not, and you have to do extra steps. So we're going to show you. The opening bid will include all applicable taxes, penalties, fees, and costs. Okay, title will vest absolute into the purchaser after the right of redemption. So, you know, the redemption time in Georgia is 1 year. So that means that you are basically a person who put the lien went into your name. Okay, you have vested interest in this particular property. So you don't own it. Don't go over there. You go scope it out sometimes. You don't run when they're not looking, but you can't do that, especially if someone lives there. Okay, it says eliminating the need for post-sale barment procedures and quiet title action. Okay, so you don't need to do a quiet title action here, and this is here in Georgia, but you want to make sure depending on the county. Okay, so we talk about it with a quiet title action. If you don't know what that is, we'll talk about it in another broadcast. We could just focus in on it because it's something important that you should know as a tax lien investor. If you have to do a quiet title action, and it's not as bad as you think, not as bad as you think. It says no information provided is to be considered legal advice. Please consult a lawyer. And I second that notation. As I want to tell you, everything that I share with you is for information and educational purposes only. I am a legal real estate consultant, so I'm able to point you in a direction and give you the avenues that can empower you to have the knowledge that you need. So I'm not giving you legal information, but I'm giving you the direction and the tools. You see what I'm saying? So I got to cover myself too, because people are like, let it die. If you're a lawyer, no, I just love the research, and I'm the lawyer assistant. You know, and that's what I tell you guys, is that basically you guys are the clinician, real estate clinicians, no matter where you invest at, if it's foreclosures, tax liens, deeds. And me, I'm your nurse. I'm your legal nurse. I'm the one that's going to help you fix some issues. That's what I'm here for. Okay. So I just wanted to let you know what my role is and what I love to do. And I'm a preventative person, so that's why we're here learning this information. So this is the Tax Commissioner Office of Henry County. I believe we looked at this already, but what we're going to do is look at the registration page. I do know that it's a $25 fee. I think when I get to it, it should say it. Yeah, it's a $20. No. Hold on. This is for the deeds and liens affidavits. I'll show you that. It's like a $25 fee for other things. Hold on. Let's get to this tax sale bidder registration form. So Henry County is a little different. I'm going to be honest. When you hear, you're going to be like, whoa, they want people to be ready. So basically right here, it says that the tax sale begins promptly at 10 a.m. But they do something at 9 a.m. Registration will begin at 9 a.m. So the paper that we show you is just basically your online submission when we get to it. At 9 a.m. in the property tax department located at 140 Henry Parkway, McDonough. For registration, you must provide your ID, address, phone number, and have funds verified by Henry County property tax employee. It is strongly encouraged that you have your registration completed prior to 10 a.m. start. So you want to go on to the bidder registration form, and they give you the 10 a.m. to do it, which is not bad. But with that, when they say verify funds, that means you need to have a cashier's check, you need to have money, but you can't come with just a regular check. This is what it says. Well, I think I was reading it. Okay. Now we get to the registration form here, and that's something that you do prior. And they say before 10 a.m. you need to have it done. But this is the form, and most tax lien sale has a registration process. Either you call and let them know. Most don't do that. That's old school. But a lot of people are online, especially after COVID. So this is right here, and it makes it pretty simple for you. So it said, please complete, print, and provide this form along with your available funds to the Henry County. And I stress it, you want to have it ready. You don't want to have to go and try to get a cashier's check at the last minute. So I know it's sometimes hard to determine how much you're going to spend, but if you have more, they will return the money to you. Let's keep that in mind. Okay, does that make sense? You'd rather have more in the check than have less. And if you do have less, they probably allow you just to get another cashier's check there to them before 4 o'clock or whatever. You know how that go. But if you're sending, sometimes when you can also wire. Sometimes they give you wiring options depending on how high tech the county is. So you want to ask those questions. Okay. So this is the actual form. We got to do it before 10 a.m. It says bidder registered bidders will be allowed to participate in the bidding process. Verification of funds will start at 9 a.m. on the morning of the sale. The tax sale start promptly at 10 a.m. So this will be the information. This will be the front of your driver's license. So most likely this will convert to a PDF for you. Okay. And what it says right here, all sales are final. See, always read the fine print. All sales are final. The Henry County Tax Sale Commissioner makes no claims or guaranteed about the property sold. Cash or cashier checks are required to be verified the date of the tax sale. Online registration is valid 4 days from the tax, from the day of submission. Okay. Honestly, there are not a lot of county that take cash. I'm just gonna be honest, but if Henry County does that, then they do it. And that's good for people like you and me, where I guess you go to the bank and get your like $10,000 out and you have to show them that you have this money. So I'm just going to tell you, I just wanted to highlight that because that may seem a little weird, uncomfortable, but that's part of the process and they don't want to play. They don't want you to make no bids and then don't take the property. I did not see on the website. Let me just recheck. Personal property, the only acceptable form of payment. So it says the only acceptable form of payment is cash, money order. You can do money order, certified check, no personal checks. But what I don't see, because sometimes they say that they say if your bid doesn't go through, because I guess maybe it haven't happened in Henry County, but sometimes they put it up there if your bids don't go through that they will ban you. So just be careful of that. But Henry County didn't say that. I was just looking for that because I saw that. I was like, oh, they're not playing. They want their money. But Henry County's okay. So now we're gonna get to, and this is part of your research. So this is some of the fees that they actually charge, and you want to know because this is what you'll have to get after you obtain the property when it's transferred into your name. And they said you don't have to do a quick quick claim process, so that's good. You don't have to do a title search. So basically it seems like this county does everything for you, but you're still going to have to pick up the deed. So this is something just to keep in mind. The cost for filing the first page of the following instruments will be $25. Deeds, all kinds or types by any name or description. So if you need to get the deed, and just know that this is some of the fees. This is a fee that you'll pay, and they go down the list of other things that you can file there. Quick claim deed release. Now this is another thing, just to give you a heads up, and hopefully it should not have any liens, but you can't say that just because the county transfer it over to you, because they say buyer beware. So right here, this was something that was important. It says liens. So that is when someone files a lien on the property, or if you need to get a release of instrument or cancellation of instrument too. Now, all counties don't charge you this, but I just want to give you a heads up. Like if it's something where the county be like, hey, well, it's two creditors that have something on here, and all you have to do is get a release of instrument from them. And you're like, oh, okay. And then you contact the vendor and you were like, hey, this person that owned the house, it was up on a tax lien sale. You have to take it off. And basically that's what you would tell them. And they take it off, and they go and give you a letter, and then you complete the paper that you need here within the county with that letter. And it's this process. It's a release of instrument process. So you'll have to pay $25 per instrument cancellation and or satisfied or release, just to give you a heads up. And these are things that people don't think about. And $25 is not a lot, but these are things that people don't think about. You see what I mean? You want to be aware, like, oh, okay. So this is part of some information you can find on the Henry County website. And now what we're going to do is, where is the list? Hold on. Let me pull up this tax lien list again. And all I put is Henry County tax lien, Henry County, Georgia, okay, tax lien list. And it will pull up the most recent one. And you want to indicate the state is very important. You know why? Because another Henry County pulled up. It was Texas. I didn't know Texas had one. Register online, bidder information, registration form. Okay, you know what? You can go right back, even if you like, if you're doing your first search, you can put that in, it'll pop up. But actually on the page, on the assessors page, they have it up here for you. So I'm going to take you back to the original resource. View current mobile home tax home list, tax link. View current mobile home tax sale list. That is mobile home. Let's see. Is that the same one? Okay, no, it's different. I thought it was on this page. Well, tax assessor, properties for sale. Where is that? This is about the process. We read that. So view the tax lien list. Here we go. I'm over here like, where is it? It's right there on the page. And as you see, this list is small, so you won't be afraid. Okay, I can show you some lists that's like 20 pages long on an Excel sheet. You like, oh my God. Because when I first saw it, I was overwhelmed. Like, what the hell to do with this? So if you guys got Excel skills, please learn it. You can use it. I still got to learn Excel. Them things be giving me, you can put little keys in and kind of make certain information pop up. That's what I need to learn how to do. So if you guys know how to do that and you get these lists in the Excel form, then you'll be able to maneuver better. to navigate down to the type of house you want, amount of how much you want to invest. You see what I'm saying? You'll put that in there, like, okay, I want, what are the taxes that's due between 5,000 and 10,000, and it'll pull up all those houses for you. So that's the benefit of doing an Excel sheet. And for instance, when you get a sheet like this that looks so good, is may not always be a benefit. Okay, so here when we look at Austin Rowley, this is public information, educational purpose only. It's on Lancey Road in McDonough. When we open the amount owed, the link is weird. It's broken. I already tried to I update this, the server creator, but this is something you may experience. And if you're very interested in the property, you may have to call. That's it. You just call the tax assessor's office and say, hey, your website not working. First thing they say, did you check the website? You be like, yes. You be like, I took a picture of the screen, ma'am. Let me send it to you. So it's been an error report because I've been trying to see how much these taxes that's back due. But then I was looking on to some more information, and it really didn't provide it for me. So I'm going to continue to look, and then I'm going to go into the tax assessor. This is the tax assessor's office. That's the tax assessor's office that I pulled up. So you'll have to call for that information. Don't stress yourself. They'll fix it fast after they know it, because they're like, people gonna start calling. We're gonna fix it. Okay. So here go the list, and what we're gonna do is actually look at the property. So today we're gonna focus on you actually getting the visual of the property, as well as knowing where to go to find out the deed information. You want to start cross-referencing the information. And then I'm going to show you the most important information you want to cross-reference, and then I'm going to show you where it's at. Now, what I show you in the program is, after I show you where it's at, I show you how to read the deed. The way I train you is that you will find the issues real fast. So that's the importance of doing either my soft title search seminar, or actually joining the course, because I make it very simple for you, and your eyes get trained to find the issues. Okay. Henry County seemed like a very thorough county. So we will hope that it wouldn't be issues like inconsecutive deeds, for instance, and we'll show you that. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So now we showed you that link is broken. I don't know if I showed you that. Hold on. This is what the link said, just to show y'all that the link was broken. All right. So, all right, let's move forward. Now, what we're going to do now is go into the tax assessor's office and find out information about the property tax. Hold on one second. Tax assessor. Give me 1 second. I want to make sure I'm going straight to it. Search records. Okay. Okay, great. All right. So I just want to make sure, because every place is different, and I did a little simple rundown. So on that original page, you want to go back to the tax assessors page, where we looked at got the list from. Pretty much everything was there. Here you're going to see on the sidebar, you're going to see property tax assessor. You go to the tax assessor, and you see it says proceed to the website. So we're in the tax commissioner. I do apologize. Let me show you again. We're in the Henry County Tax Commissioner office, but the assessor office is in there. Okay, so don't be confused. You're in the same place, but you're going to somebody's office. All right, so this is the tax assessor's office. And here, this is where we're going to look for the information we need. So we're going to go here to search records. This is where you can do appeals, the tax calendar forms, but we're going to go here and also look, maps and zone and district information. You see how I told you it could be right here? Don't be so overwhelmed when I say, hey, you got to do this, do this, do this, do this. But you want to know how to read it. You want to know what to look for. And that's what I teach you in the seminar. So let's get to the property record search. and it takes us to this page. Now, what we can actually do is go right back to, and it's very important because you don't want to mess up. You don't have to type it in. You can just copy and paste. Let's go back to the tax assessor's office list, and we can just whoop, supposed to copy and paste the number. Okay, it just jumped right over. Hold up, y'all saw that? Wait a minute, I didn't even have to go put it in. Second, y'all. I do apologize. That threw me off. That was really good. Wait a minute. Okay. See, it's two ways. You see how I showed you? I showed you the manual way of going to go to the tax assessor. I was about to show you that way, and all of a sudden, as I copied and pasted, it went straight to the page that I was about to take you to. So some counties have it set up amazing. This is a great example of how easy they make it, but some don't. Obviously, you see, we don't see the tax information that was available. They have a little glitch in the matrix, but we know that this is the definitely the property that we need to look at because it was a hyperlink, and now we can get some of the fair market value, the base value, the land value. This is not the fair market value. You can go on different websites and realtor websites and pull up the address and look at the fair market value. It may be at or about these prices, just to give you a heads up. It won't be too off from this, but the tax assessor has one way, and you always want to cross reference that, just a heads up. So, as you see, as inflation goes up and life goes on, and people get priced out the market, allegedly, I don't know if you can see it in 2021. This actual building value total $100,000, $100,000, 100,500. I do apologize. I don't know why I can't get it out today. I'm getting back acclimated to my lives. I can't make excuses. I do apologize. I'm over here messing up numbers. So in 2021, that is the base value. That's the building value. Now, if you are a land investor like me, I'll just look at this bottom. This is what will be available for me. And in 2024, it was 24,000. And now you can see in 2021, it was 24,000. And now in 2024, it is 40,000 of base value. So it's $40,000 that you can sell the land for. But in this particular example, a home is on there. So the value that you're seeing here is 213,400,000 for this particular property. But you want to go and look cross reference it with realtors, okay? So this is some of the land information. It is 1.25. Oh, look, it said acreage, 1.25. So it was 1.25 acres. I just want to make sure. I want to be and to make sure you'll be able to cross reference that when you pull up the deed information, because it'll be all in there. So it's 1.25 acres. All right. Now, this is the most important part outside of this picture. Let's show you. This picture is a great picture to look at. It is amazing that you don't have to go far to actually look at the picture. Everything is right there, right here. And you can cross reference this with the real estate websites that you go on, as well as the general Google map, where you can put the little man there and you can look on the block and look around and see how the house look. What makes this amazing, they got a little lake behind it. Okay, so this is it. You'll be able to take this information and do an area view to see what's around, what commodities around, stores and things like that. But this is it. Now, the blessing is that one page led us all down the road. Maybe on another live, I'll be able to show you when the tax office don't provide all of those links for you, and we find it, and you have to go to different ones. Okay, so there's sometimes it's not this easy, but this is a blessing. Now, I'm trying to look at the bottom because there's information here. So the classes are. So that means residency. I don't know residence. If you can see it, is at the bottom. So you want to look at that, make sure that is a residence. You know you can't use this for commercial, and it's 1.25 acres. The homeowner name is here, very important because that's something that you want to use and do your due diligence. The same page that I was gonna show you where you can look at the property information, you can look up the homeowner information in this particular case. You're like, why am I gonna look up the homeowner's information? I'm being nosy. No, you want to know if that person has any outstanding judgments, something like that, if they have any wills, these type of things. Literally, I'm telling you how to do your due diligence right now. Now, and I'm going to show you the page because I'm telling y'all a lot, basically. But the skills, like I said, that I show you, it shows you how to critique and find the issue, especially when you're looking at a deed that is like you got 80 years of deeds to go through and you're looking for issues. You can do that in about 10 minutes. Very simple. All right, so I'm going to show you here this is where you'll be able to, it says search owner's name. All right, so you'll find the property information here, but then you could also go to the county clerk office and look for civil cases. Okay. So that's something that you can keep your eye on. So that was the other way you can do it manually outside of if they didn't have a hyperlink. All right, so this information I'm going to show you again to say, what are you going to look for when you pull up the deed information? This is the very important part. You want to look at these dates and you want to make sure that these dates are consecutive. You want to make sure that they are, not off. Where one say 1998 here and then you see a 1991 after it. Something is wrong with the filing. That something's going to need to be corrected. Something that you have to bring to the county attention, and it's very important to do it before it is in your hand, because once you own it, you have to fix it. You see what I'm saying? You find it now and be like, wait, and then they fix it. They just got to fix it because nobody's paying the taxes on it. They want to sell it. You found the problem. You see why you do it before than after? So you don't get stuck with the problem. So this is some of the stuff you're going to look at when you look at the deed information. We're about 46 minutes in. I want to say thank you for being with us today. Thank you for getting us back into the algorithm. We'll be coming live every week, and we're also going to be doing local events in Atlanta. So check us out. I appreciate you, Miss Clayton. I love to talk and I love to teach. So you let me know whatever you need. My people say, you be giving out all the information. I'm like, no, I gave it a lot to get you started, get you going. But now I want to make sure you're safe. So I teach you a lot of safety mechanism within the seminar in the course, okay? But I'm gonna give you that work. I'm gonna show you exactly where to go. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for being with me because I love this information. Yeah, I'm corny. We ain't corny. We gonna get us some property. You know what I'm saying? All right. So let's just move forward. This is the public online access. See, this is another way you can do it too. Showing you a lot. Let me show you one more because I think you could use this for the whole state of Georgia. I like to look up cases. That's another thing I do on my other platform. I read criminal cases. I read like things like that people are interested in. And I give my jokes, but we really talk about it. So these are one of the websites that I will use if I was looking for someone's public records related to court cases. So when I say get the person name, you get the person name and you put it in there. So it's another way you can look up the property information or the person's name. This is public court records. This is different from the tax assessor website where you put the information in and it went to the tax assessor page. This is like the clerk right here that's going to show you cases connected to the house and a person. Does that make sense? All right. Now I got, yeah. Wait, that's what I want to show you. Now, hold on. It's more to it. I'm like, wait, am I done? This is the last part. So what we're going to do is look up the parcel information to this particular house that we were looking at. So I already told y'all how to cross-reference. And this particular county gave you an amazing view. That picture was clear. Be clear on anybody's computer. Let me see if I can pull up the parcel information again. Hold on. Here we go. So I'm taking the parcel ID and I'm going to put it here. Or matter of fact, I'm sorry, they want the property address. All right. So let me put the property address up here. Now you may have to spend just a little bit of money. It's not a lot. Hold on. Okay, here we go. See? And you want to know what town and everything, especially in Georgia. Look how two came up. So we want the one in McDonough. So with this particular search, I'm going to be honest, if you're really interested in this property, you will take the time and spend the money. This is $1. So I have pre-looked this up. It says, great, we found the information. And it says confirm that this is the address. I confirm, and then they say download. So when I waited to download, I'm like, oh, I'm about to get it, and I'm about to show everybody. At the end, it said $1 to get the full report. So just be aware that, especially if you're dealing with the county and you're a high volume investor, this is something that may be a requirement. Once you are set up with the county, it is easy to access it again. Like for instance, with Maryland, when we get back in Maryland, I talk to you guys about my investment, what I'm doing. I go right in, and my account is already set up. That's why you say you start with one, you crush it, and then you move into another state, or you crush that state and do county by county, because each county could have something just a little different, different issues, especially when it comes to environmental agriculture. You go to one place in Georgia, that's the city, then you go one place that's the country, you're looking at two different issues. You're looking for two different things that can be wrong. Maybe this property has structure issues because it's next to a mountain. Maybe this, and then that's a whole nother thing. Maybe this property just have a little structure issue because it needs the roof redone. A few windows that was broken. It's in how can I say, opportunity zone. So you get different things to do with it. So I think that is it. I have, I think that is it because we're already at 51 minutes. I do have some more questions here too. I was like, should I get to these questions? If you have any questions, I will let you ask me any questions. Ask me some questions. Next week we're gonna do a live, but I'm going to just kind of just talk genuinely about tax liens and things like that. And I am actually going to attend the Henry County tax lien live. So not live, but you guys are going to get clips. They're going to have different auctions, different sales going on. I'm going to explain to you what the different sales are going on, and I'm going to bring it back and I'm going to upload it for you guys. So hopefully I can have it uploaded by possibly next Sunday for you. Okay, so you can see in real time what happens at the tax lien sale. And this is going to give you more, because now we talked about Henry County. We showed you how to do a little bit of your due diligence. And now we're going to show you how it looks. Okay. So we're pretty much walking you through the process online. So that's why I want you guys to like and subscribe. We have a lot for you guys. My main goal, as I always mention for years to years, is that we have to get back in the market. My main goal is to get the little guy, me and you, back in the market so we can control this inflation. If you understand what happened with the Georgia market, and I know Georgia definitely, 30% went into private lenders and into portfolios. And that's why the rent is so inflated. And it's hard for our young people to get apartments. It's hard. So the only way that this is going to really be fixed, I think, is if we do it. Does that make sense? So that's why I'm here. So again, thank you for being here with Tax Lien Lady Lashley, your real estate legal consultant. I am here for all you clinicians. You let me know whatever I can do for you. Thank you, Miss Swift. I will get you that reference and put it down in the group for you. Thank you. If y'all want to be part of the Facebook group, go join it. Y'all start conjugating, talking. I pop in, help y'all. Let's just get this going because we got to win. We got to win in the end.
You don't start things and not finish them. You don't quit. There's nothing that comes out of quitting besides knowing that you didn't finish. We finish everything. You start it, finish it. If you're going to do it to try and be the best. Not be better than other people, be the best for you.
Would you like to learn a brand new and innovative way to invest your extra money that has a low barrier to entry and low competition? What if I told you that it is a guaranteed method to get up to 18 to 20% return on your investment? Tax lien and deed purchasing is the only way to get into the real estate market through the back door. No credit and no loans needed. This method isn't commonly taught, and therefore the competition is very low, for now. Put together a 14-hour info-packed course which will teach you everything you'll need to know to get started. Learn at your own pace, step-by-step guided video and aids to start you on the TLC deed investment process. The course offers many learning tools for new investors, helping ensure you safely invest in tax liens and deeds. Contact us today and join the buyback team.